Well, greetings, viewers and voyeurs with Got That Funk. And this is a video response to my friend Moines Girl, again, and her video, What is Cheating? And, I'm going to assume that you're talking about cheating in the context of relationships. However, cheating in a more general sense, it's pretty much the same. It's when two parties are involved in whatever way, and one party, or both, conducts themselves in a way which puts themselves at an advantage and disadvantages the other. They're doing something for their own selfish gain and not considering the other party. And as revolves, romantic relationships, I think everybody's got their own rules that they conduct themselves by, and maybe do or don't live up to those rules. I've certainly had my fair share of success and the occasional failure in that realm. And I've certainly had partners who've cheated on me. Now, what does that mean as regards your question? Well, I have a real big issue with equal treatment, I'm pretty fluid with whatever the rules are between me and my partner up to a point. I do have some red lines, and I'll talk about that in a second. But as far as cheating is concerned, the way I conduct myself is I wouldn't do anything with someone who wasn't my partner that I wouldn't do if my partner was in the room with me at the time. I think that's a pretty safe way to go about things. I mean, and I wouldn't do anything with someone else that my partner was uncomfortable with if I knew that they were going to be uncomfortable before I did it. I would already have established the boundaries with my partner well before any such thing could really be an issue, and this is exactly where I was going to go. When I say at the beginning that cheating is when one or more parties breaks the rules, there's different kinds of rules. There's assumed rules, and there are actual rules. The rules that you have talked about. Because sometimes, far too often, in my opinion, people get into relationships and they base this whole idea, their ideas about monogamy. They just assume that they're virtually identical to their partners when they haven't even discussed it. And yeah, everyone does have their own boundaries, and I think it's pretty damned important to discuss them, so that you know where you are with someone. Um, Now, as regards my own red lines, I mean, basically, it really just comes down to, overly intimate contact. Um, you know, if my partner was with someone in a way that I would only feel comfortable with her being with me in, yeah, I would say something about it. Whether that's cheating or not, I'm not really so sure. And I feel the same way about my own behavior. You know, um, if I kiss someone on the cheek or not, and my wife felt threatened by that because of the person was, I don't know, vivacious or something, then I would feel, yeah, okay, I've gone too far. Whether that's cheating or not is irrelevant. Okay, I made her uncomfortable and I didn't need to. It's inconsiderate. Okay. And I mean, none of us are perfect, and you're going to make these types of mistakes from time to time. But when it comes to actually cheating, I don't think it's a mistake. I don't think people accidentally sleep with each other. And for me, that's what cheating really comes down to. I mean, any kind of really intimate contact, though, is probably going too far for me. But at the same time, uh, whether they're breakup offenses, it really depends on the relationship. I mean, I was with my second missus for nearly 10 years. We weren't married that whole time, but that's how long we were together. And I considered many times, what would I do if she had an affair? Would I just dump her on the spot, or would we try and work it out? It was a really big question I couldn't answer. You know, so yeah, it's never cut and dry. But the bottom line is, I do think that cheating is very, very, very. It's almost endemic around here. Everyone I know seems to cheat on their partners around here. It's so I'm not really sure where people draw the lines anymore. I mean, for example, is phone sex with someone who's not your partner, is that cheating? I wouldn't like it very much, but is it cheating? Uh, you know, by my own standards, I think it would be, because it's like I say, I wouldn't behave that way if my missus was in the room with me, so I wouldn't do it, when she wasn't. Simple as. and I feel the same way about MSN sex or whatever to call it. I don't know what the fuck people call it these days. Internet sex. Um, yeah, man. So, yeah, I think that's my gist on cheating. What do you reckon? Where do you stand? I'd love to find out. Got that funk. Thanks for watching, and may all your ups and downs be ups.